you're ready.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for inviting me to be part of this very special and very important evening. The killing of George Floyd was a tragedy. And it reminds us all that it's not enough to be non-racist. We have to be anti-racist. We have to act against racism. Martin Luther King said that it's always the right time to do the right thing. In his famous I Have a Dream speech, he talked about the urgency of now. Think about that, the urgency of now. That gradual change and gradualism is not enough. He said that now is the time for social justice and to come together as brothers in brotherhood. He said that I don't want to be your brother-in-law, I want to be your brother, which I agree with. In Voorhees Township, I'm proud of the diversity that we have in our community. We were the first town in South Jersey to establish a cultural and diversity committee whose job is to educate our residents and our local government about the different cultures in our township to help fight prejudice and racism. I've always said that in Voorhees, we embrace our differences and we celebrate our differences until differences make no difference at all. And isn't that why we're here? So that differences make no difference at all. That is the goal. That really is. I want to thank Rulan for putting together this event this evening. I was at a similar event on Sunday, which happened to be organized by another young lady from Voorhees, recently graduated from Eastern. I'm so proud of the fact that it is our young people who are taking the forefront in giving people a voice and in taking action. It's important that people have a forum to let their voice be heard. Another way to let your voice be heard is by voting, particularly this year in the presidential election. If you are not registered to vote, June 16th is the deadline to register to vote. You can get all the deadlines and all the information about the primary and about the general election. This year is a presidential election by visiting CamdenCounty.com. So again, thank you so much for organizing the event. Thank you to everybody else who took the time to be here. And I would like to introduce our next speaker, who is Essie Jeffrey, a junior at Easter Regional High School. Thank you.
As I was in the beginning stages of writing this elocution, 3 words came into my head: change, rebirth, and unlearn, all of which are uncomfortable processes that entail diligence and hard work. It's not easy to have the conversation about race. It's not easy to unlearn stereotypes that suddenly have been ingrained in our heads at a young age. It's not easy to shift our perspective. It's scary and uncomfortable. I even felt the same way when I was asked to speak today. I was nervous, but I knew that I had something important to say. As humans, it's just what we do. We fear the unknown because we don't have control. But that has to stop. That fear has cost us various lives of Black men. Nelson Mandela once said, "I learned that the courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not the one who does not feel afraid, but the one who conquers that fear." We are no longer letting fear hold us back from being the land of the free that we so often claim to be. The land of the free that so many people of color have never experienced because of racism, hate, and prejudice society has placed upon us. For years upon years, we have been held down due to the shackles that have been placed upon us when they brought us here. The plight of Black people in America is no longer just a plight of Black people. It is a plight of every single American citizen. Today we are gathered here in honor of George Floyd, but George Floyd wasn't a wake-up call. It was the same alarm that has been going off since 1619. Like Tamar Rice, Eric Gardner, Michael Brown, Muhammad Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and countless more, George Floyd was murdered due to abuse of power and simply because of the amount of chemical in his skin. For 8 minutes and 46 seconds, George Floyd begged for his life to be spared. He begged and begged and begged for his mother. 16 times he said, "I can't breathe." 16 times in 8 minutes and 46 seconds shows how often Black lives are often disrespected and disregarded. Black Lives Matter is the minimum. Black lives are worthy, beloved, and needed. So ask yourself, how can we change? I believe that if we can teach hate, we can teach love and compassion. My mom always says charity begins at home, and I never really understood what she meant by that until recently. It means that if we teach our daughters, our sons, our cousins, our uncles, our aunts, and our nephews, and even our parents how to love and not hate, we've all done our part in making this world a better place. If we teach our family that we put various individuals in the world that are caring, loving, and compassionate. Only love can drive out hate. So let's promote love. Let's ingrain it into our heads so much that it overtakes every ounce of hate that we have. Let's uplift each other because in the end, we are one race, the human race. Now we will hear an original poem from Eastern Regional Senior, Sharia Naveen.
Hi, my name is Sharia Naeem. I'm a senior at Eastern Regional High School, and I'll be reading an original poem for George Floyd. George Floyd. Face down, chest compressed, George Floyd screamed, "I can't breathe." 4 officers for only 1 arrest. Were all of them really needed? I'll take you back to the start of the scene, before the neck was cracked and before the scream. See, all of this was started over a fake 20 sheet that none of the officers involved had even taken a peek at. No, they just saw black. And no, they didn't know how to react, and so they thought it was best to sit on his neck and compress. Fact, a life was taken and sent to God today, so we relax. As he's laid 6 feet under, far away from the fact that Black Lives Matter, but they're under attack. Although George lost the war, we still fight on like Floyd. From New York to California, from Texas to Illinois, I thank all the protesters and people that fight for my life, your life, and Floyd's. Let's have a moment of silence for all the violence we endured. Thank you.
This portrait of George Floyd was illustrated by Eastern junior Yishfa Nassar. Her message is a loving memory of George Floyd and others who have lost their lives due to police brutality.
Now we'll be hearing from Ilan.
Hi everyone. When I asked the Voorhees Township Committee 6 days ago to hold an event like this, I was welcomed with overwhelming support, which I'm so grateful for. I want to sincerely thank the Voorhees Township, Mayor Vignona, Deputy Mayor Ravitz, Sharia Naeem, Essie Jeffrey, Melanie Irvin, and so many more. Recently, I found a quote from Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall, and I felt it was fitting for our nation today. He gave this quote not far from here at Independence Hall when he was being awarded the Liberty Medal. He says, "America must get to work. In the chill climate in which we live, we must go against the prevailing wind. We must dissent from the indifference. We must dissent from the apathy. We must dissent from the fear, the hatred, and the mistrust. We must dissent from a nation that has buried its head in the sand, waiting in vain for the needs of its poor, its elderly, and its sick to disappear and just blow away. We must dissent from a government that has left its young without jobs, education, or hope. We must dissent from the poverty of vision and the absence of moral leadership. We must dissent because America can do better, because America has no choice but to do better. We need equality now because Black lives matter, and simply because Black people in America should not have to wait any longer. To those of you who are watching, thank you. You're taking part in an imperative conversation, and I implore all of you to have conversations like these in your homes with your friends and your family. Educate and advocate. To the protesters, the donators, and the petition signers, thank you. Keep fighting the good fight. It has never been immoral to be on the right side of history. To the New Jersey residents, please do not forget to register to vote by next Tuesday, June 16th, so you can participate in the July 7th primaries. To the class of 2020, congratulations. I'm going to miss seeing you in the halls and having classes with you, but if you're going away for college, please request to vote by absentee mail-in ballot so you can still vote in the 2020 presidential election and make your voice heard. Together, we can incite change, and I thank you all for watching. Thank you. Finally, we will have Eastern Junior Melanie Irvin sing Hope by Emily Sande. Mel?
I hope that the world stops raining, stops turning its back on the young. See, nobody here is blameless. I hope we can fix all we've done. I really hope Martin can see this. I hope that we still have a dream. I'm hoping that change isn't hopeless. I'm hoping to start it with me. I just hope I'm not the only one. I just hope I'm not the only one. I hope we start seeing forever instead of what we can gain in a day. I hope we start seeing each other, 'cause don't we all bleed the same? I just hope I'm not the only one. I just hope I'm not the only one. Louder, I cannot hear you. How can things be better left unsaid? Call me a dreamer, but it feels like dreams are all that we've got left. I hope that we still have a heartbeat. I hope we're not turned into stone. At night when you turn all the lights off, I hope you're not crying alone. I hope we stop taking for granted all of the land and all of the sea. I'm taking a chance on loving. I hope that you'll take it with me.